Hey everybody, it is Susie Reno. I am here with FlossTube number 9, right? Yes, 9. I am just back. By the way, first of all, today is my birthday, my 50th birthday, which is hard for me to believe. I don't quite know how that went so fast, 50 years, but that's okay. A lot of people never get the opportunity to make it to 50, so you will never hear me complain about my age. So, anyway, I am just back from the Midwest Cross-Stitch Retreat, which was held in beautiful Chaska, Minnesota at the lovely Oak Ridge Convention Center, or conference center, not convention center, it's a conference center. And what a fantastic venue. I went last year. This is my second year, so I'm very fortunate to have been able to attend twice. I will not be able to go next year. I have other commitments both of the weekends that Michelle has the events set up. And actually, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I have so much to talk about. Most of this video is going to be about the Midwest Cross-Stitch Retreat, so if you don't care about that or if you're already sick of hearing about it, no worries, go ahead and move on. Mostly I feel like this whole video is going to be one big thank you to people because I genuinely had the most wonderful time. Michelle Rudy, farm girl, that girl can organize a retreat. I can't say enough about it. It was the most supportive, nice, friendly, lovely, generous, kind group of individuals that you could ever put together in one room. Like, in my heaven, there's going to be a spot just like the Midwest Cross-Stitch Retreat set up there. That's, fingers crossed. That's my hope, because I felt so loved this weekend, and just there was no drama, everybody was so friendly. It was the best. I loved every second. So thank you, Michelle Rudy, and thank you to everybody that attended. I loved meeting each and every one of you. Pardon me one second, my cat needs to get out here. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. I'm going to jump right in because it's going to take me a while to get through all the stuff. The first thing I want to talk about, a couple videos ago, my last one that I did was, I had talked about, I was giving poor Darlene Baumgartner a little crap about the fact that she always calls Prairie Schooler Prairie Schooner. And I had made a comment, something like, a schooner on a prairie is ridiculous. I'm having to eat a little crow because I had never heard of a covered wagon called a prairie schooner. And I got a lot of little comments about how her comment, prairie schooner, is not ridiculous. So Darlene, she was there this weekend. We talked, we chatted before that too. We had a good laugh about it. She's a dear friend. So Darlene, my apologies. Ignorance has been, now I've been educated. So thank you to everyone who reached out and stuck up for Darlene. And my plan was to make a little crow-shaped cookie and like have to eat it, but I decided not to. So just I ate my crow there, and I'm sorry, Darlene, and I know she has no hard feelings. But the other thing I have to talk about is, well, you know what? I'm going to include that in haul when I get to my haul stuff. So I'll do that then. I think I'll start with what should I start with? I'm going to talk about my whips first, okay? Because then people who aren't interested in the cross-stitch retreat can just tune out after that. But a lot of you just come to hear my whips. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was thank you all for being so welcoming to my friend Mavis. Mavis Oscarson filled in for me a few weeks ago. And I know Mavis from my church. She is a lovely lady, and the other ladies at my church love watching these FlossTube videos, and so When I gave her the opportunity, she yumped at the chance, as she would say. So thank you all for being so welcoming. Mavis is hoping to do another guest spot at some point in the future. So, and give you an update on all of her craft projects, including how she's coming on that new Renews It doll. So, all right. So thank you to everyone who had nice things to say about Mavis. She very much appreciated it. So, okay, so on to my whips. So part of the reason Mavis did the last video is because I was working on so many secret things. I was working on my small for the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat, and I'm still working on my sampler for the Sampler Exchange. I've also been to a quilting retreat, and then working. And so I've just had a lot of stuff going on. Also, it's been a busy fall, so there aren't enough hours in the day for me. But I did get some work done on my Sally Spencer sampler, so I've got that queued up here. I didn't iron it, sorry. But here's my progress on Sally. So you can see I got my name charted and I got that added. And gosh, I'm sorry, I really should have ironed this, you guys. I thought it would be good enough, but and maybe it is, I don't know. But I just have this little vine going up the side and then the numbers that go up here. I just have that left over. So, very cool. My roommate at the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat is Linda Jo, or was Linda Jo, from she's Pretty Southern on FlossTube. If you don't watch her, she is a riot. I love her dearly. She is also working on this sampler. So she and I were like challenging each other. We were both hoping to have it done before the Cross Stitch Retreat, but we've been working on other things. I can't wait to show you the one that I'm stitching for my friend. I will just give you a little hint about it. It's a well-known sampler that was recently a stitch along with a group of ladies here on FlossTube and Instagram. I mean, a lot of people participated, but I chose to do a conversion of the colors, and I had it at the Cross Stitch Retreat this weekend, and a lot of people looked at it, and I shared it with them, and a lot of them, there was very positive feedback, and a lot of people want, I've been keeping track of what I'm doing for the conversion. So when I finish that, I will definitely film it and share it on my FlossTube. So this is the other one. This is my car project. So I've shown this one before. This one is from Nikki's Creations. It's called Be Friend. And you can see, like, my last big accomplishment was filling in all this grass around the rabbits. This is the only part that I have left. I probably have like an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work left on. I just have to finish that little band. There's little leaves and then some flowers along that little band, and then I will be all done. So I've just got to get cracking on those. But like I said, my priority has been getting that sampler done. I just have too many irons in the fire, people. I have a lot going on. And that's okay. I mean, we stitch because we enjoy it. We don't stitch, to like get stuff done. So, well, I mean, we do. That was a dumb thing to say. All right, whatever. And then, so those are my whips. I don't really have any more whips. I will start with, I'm going to show, okay, so the other thing I was talking about was my small that I made for the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. And a lot of you have already seen it probably on Instagram because I have posted it at this point. But if you haven't, I will insert some pictures here. Don't you love how that turned out? It turned out better than I had imagined it in my head. I was so pleased with how it turned out. My friend Tammy that I work with is a very talented painter, and very much a perfectionist too. And you can see in those pictures, she just did a fantastic job. We both agreed that we're going to have to, she's going to paint 2 more and I'm going to stitch 2 more roofs because we each want one for ourselves. So the lucky lady that won it was Cindy Solberg, and you saw her in the pictures as well. Yeah, she was very tickled to have won it, and I'm happy that it went to a good home. The talent that was in that place with all of the smalls, amazing. Every single person, I would have been happy leaving with any of the smalls that was there. I'm going to share my story about my small that I got. And I use the term small loosely because this thing is incredible. So first of all, what was ironic about it is the table that I sat at was a wonderful group of ladies. We had Linda Jo, Pretty Southern, at our table. We had Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. We had, to my right was this lovely lady, Tara Sullivan from South Carolina, who is a Laugh Riot. Sorry, I picked up a cold when I was at the convention center. There was Jennifer Purple Stitcher, who is an impeccable stitcher. She does just a beautiful job. And then on the end of our table was Marcy from Kansas, who is just so much fun and so fantastic. Marcy was such a lovely, lovely lady, as were all of the people there. But Marcy and I just like bonded across the table. Like I just got her and she just got me. Like I really, really liked her. Like the minute I got there, it was so, like we just got each other. I mean, so did a lot of the ladies there, but she just was just so sweet, so sweet. So we had chatted a little bit and, got to know each other, and I just loved her. So when it came time for me to go and pick my small, I picked one that had, because I'm a bird person, I saw this wrapping paper and I was like, oh, if anybody who likes birds, I get you. I love it. So I opened up this box. And in this box was, first of all, this lovely card, Birds of a Feather card. Okay, can't go wrong there because I love Birds of a Feather. They might be my #1 favorite designer. Love them. And then wrapped in this just beautiful tissue paper and everything, there was like, this was just an ornament. It's a little decoration, and that was like wrapped around everything in the small was wrapped in some tissue paper and this was wrapped around it. And this little charm says, live for the moments you cannot put into words, which is so sweet. It's so sweet. It's the cutest little thing. And okay, so thrilled with that. Just like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. And by the way, when I found out it was from Marcy, when I read the card, the card starts off and how can you not love this? Dear new stitching friend. That's how she starts it out, the card. And then when I saw it was from Marcy, I was just so touched. I was like, I'm so excited. It's from my new friend Marcy right across the table. Had no idea what her small package looked like at all. It was just dumb luck. So I was very excited. I unwrapped the tissue paper and voila. So this is what awaited me inside. Look at these cute little charms. Isn't it amazing? This is stitch, and look at that lace. And this lady that creates pom-pom trim. This is done over 1, people. She stitched this over 1 thread. 1 thread. I was just like blown away. And there's more. It's a book. Can you believe that? So inside was a Lizzie Kate snippet, which I have a bunch of snippets. I don't have this one, so good going, Marcy. Look at this. So this is a little pocket. It's got this little thing sewn to it with a bird. You see that? It says happy, which I was very happy. she's got this beeswax in here, this pine cone beeswax. This is a magnetic little needle minder with, look at that cute little needle minder. Do you love that? And then look at this cute little needle case. That just fits right in there as well. There's some needles in it even. So it sticks to the needles are sticking to the little magnetic needle minder. But she's got like a little safety pin on it. And then look at this scissor fob. Like, the scissor fob alone would have been small enough for me. Like, I would have been so happy with that. Look at, and there's this little leaf she's got on there. Can you see that? And a scissors to go with it. Like a brand new scissor. It's got this beautiful chenille. Look at how beautifully it's finished. I was just completely blown away by this. And so I got back to my seat. And I don't know if you know about the Smalls Exchange and how it works, but there are a certain amount of people who can steal from you. And initially I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep this. I know there's just no way somebody's going to steal this. So if you, when your number was drawn, some numbers were marked ahead of time. There were like 15 people, I think it was, that were able to steal out of the 60 or so that participated in the Smalls Exchange. So the gal who was drawing the numbers, Donna, when she drew it, she would tell you if you had a steal or did not have a steal. So that was really cool. So most of the people who had steals were like too nice to even think about stealing something from someone else. Because seriously, like when you unwrap something like this, people are just like, look at this book. Look, I mean, it's just incredible. This whole thing is amazing. Top to bottom. I just was blown away by this. No, I don't own anything like this. Nothing this special. So when you unwrap something like this, you know, you're just like, oh, and then the fact that it came from Marcy, we had a bond already. Okay, I'm going on far too long about this Smalls Exchange. So it got to be where, you know, everybody had, you know, we were getting down to the last, I think it was like the last 5 or so, perhaps. There were like maybe 5 people left to go. And so Donna drew a number out. It was Kelly Stodola's number of the Joan and Kelly show. And when I had looked at the table, I was like, oh gosh, there's only like 3 things left. And in my head, I was like, whew, I'm going to get to keep this thing, because there were so many exquisite, amazing things that I was like, this is going to be, you know, I'm going to get to keep mine. I'm so excited. Because like I said, when I got back to my seat, I was like, oh, don't get used to it. Like I took pictures of it right away, real quick, you know, before anybody had a chance to steal it. And so Kelly Stodola's number was chosen. And, you know, like I said, in my head, I was like, I'm so happy I'm going to be able to keep Marcy Small. And I had just like resigned myself to that fact. Well, Kelly's number got called, and she was like, where's Susie Reno? I got to get that book. And I just was like, oh. And a look of, okay, so my first reaction when I heard, like, she's coming for you, Susie Reno, when I realized that, like, I looked straight at Marcy, like, oh no, as if she were like my child and was going to be ripped from my arms or something. I think all the color drained from my face. And my first thought was, run. Just grab the small and run. I mean, that's what my brain told me to do. But I knew that wouldn't be appropriate. No. And then I just felt like, okay, you just gotta, this'll be okay. And I think I had the closest thing probably that I've ever had to a panic attack in that moment. Because I was just like, okay, Sue, everybody's looking at you. Just take some deep breaths. And I could just feel all the heat rush to my face, and my face was all red. And I was like, okay, it's okay. Just gather the box. And Kelly started coming over. And I think that, like, somebody at my table said, oh my God, I think she's going to cry. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to cry. And I'm kind of like, I didn't even know what to do. I can't even tell you. It was bizarre. And then you could just see that I was in a dither. That's the best way that I can put it. In a dither. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Kelly came over. I think she saw my face too, and she was like, well, I can't take it. I'm not going to make her, I mean, obviously she really loves this thing. And so Kelly like walked away at that point. And I think she went up and got something else at that point. And I felt terrible at that moment because I'm like, I have no claim to this. Kelly is playing fair and square. I hate stealing. I hate that part of this game that Michelle organizes, but Michelle likes to make it fun, and I can't do that to other people. I don't want to take people's things away from them. They're attached to them. I guess last retreat it was really cutthroat, so I couldn't do it. But Kelly couldn't either, apparently, and she let me keep it, which made me feel horrible right away initially. Like, no, you can have it. I swear you can have it. Well, what ended up happening was Kelly drew another name. She ended up getting Marlene Bush from Stitching by the Lake. So she got Marlene's small, and it was funny because Marlene got Kelly's small. So I did go up to Kelly after and I said, Kelly, I would be more than happy to trade with you. You have every right to this, and I just felt like such a boob over my reaction. And I don't know what it was. It was just like embarrassment. It was 75 people looking at you, like, what's she gonna do? What's her reaction gonna be? And just not knowing how to even react. Like I said, in my brain, I was just like, oh, there's 3 left. I'm going to get to keep this thing. I'm so happy. It's from Marcy. Anyway. So Marcy Thiessen, I'm sorry that story was so long. Marcy Thiessen, thank you so much for this. I treasure it. Kelly Stodola, thank you so much for being such a good sport. That's the story of the smalls. Okay, I'm going to get to haul. And I'm going to go through haul fairly quickly because there's a lot of it. So, the first thing I got, so I had mentioned I went to a quilting retreat a couple months ago. So this got put up. You can see here, I don't know, maybe in magic marker, it says free on it. And so this was at a quilting retreat. So I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting thread. Guess what? It's for punch needle. These are like spools of, and are they wool? I can't remember what they're made of. It says they're color fast. They're kind of soft. Oh, no, they're acrylic. 100% acrylic. But it's made for punch needle. Isn't that awesome? So I'm kind of stoked about that. So I'm going to have to like get my punch needle out, which leads me to the next thing I got, which is, there's a story behind this one too. Thank you, Michelle Garrett, for this. She had brought several things. She's doing her 10 for 10 clean out all month. The month of October, she gets rid of 10 items all month long, each day. And so Snow Buddy was one of the things that she got rid of. And at the retreat, she walked up to Michelle Rudy, and Michelle put me sort of in charge of door prizes and getting them organized and getting the raffle table set up. So all day Friday, I worked on the raffle table and the door prizes. So Michelle Garrett brought us this stack. I had a list when I went to Stitchville on Thursday. I picked Linda Jo up from the airport and we went right over to, actually no, we went to the retreat center, then we went to Stitchville. This was the only thing I had on my list at Stitchville. I wanted this Snow Buddy pattern. Deb at Stitchville did not have it in stock or didn't carry it or whatever, so I was like, oh, that's a bummer. I saw this on Instagram. Someone had finished it. I think the one on Instagram had green pants. I thought it was so cute. It's like, he's like this big when he's done. He's like teeny tiny. And he's a punch needle. And I just was like, I have to make that. So when they didn't have it at Stitchville, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. But then when Michelle brought me the stack and she's like, here's a bunch of patterns that I have. Feel free to use these as door prizes. They can go in, anything you don't want can go in the freebie table. The freebie table was amazing, by the way. I'll get to that. And I was flipping through them and I was like, oh, Snow Buddy! And she, they all just kind of looked at me and I was like, this is the only thing I wanted at Stitchville and I couldn't find it. And Michelle just, was like, take it because you have helped me with the raffle table and the door prizes. Just take it. So this was my thank you from Michelle and from Michelle Rudy and Michelle Garrett. So thank you to the Michelles for allowing me to get this pattern. I also bought the little Valdani variegated thread that goes with it. Have you seen those? They're so cute. It's a 3-strand embroidery floss. And this is what makes up the body of the snowman. I like it. So I got that as well. So that was my first thing. Okay. These two I got off of the freebie table. One of them, these are full kits of shepherd's bush. And this one I really like. This one I think is called Simple Joys. Simple Joy pin cushion. And look at that, people. It comes with all the stuff. Look at that. Fabric, rickrack, everything. Same with this little Easter egg one. So there's a story behind these. Jessica, Sporty Stitcher. If you don't watch Sporty Stitcher, she's a hoot. Very nice gal from Wisconsin. Loves the Brewers and the Packers, but we forgive her for that. Anyway, Jessica is a super sweet gal. She went to an estate sale this summer. The estate sale was from a woman who was a stitcher and who died an untimely death, I think, in her 50s, early 50s. And she was a very prolific stitcher. She loved Shepherd's Bush. She loved Sakis and Company and Just Nan. She had full kits. I mean, like the Shepherd's Bush kits, she had them like in numbered order. She was like meticulously organized. When Jessica went to this estate sale, and they had them priced dirt cheap, but you know, cross stitching is a pretty exclusive hobby. I mean, not everybody does it. And a lot of people looked at that and was like, oh, I don't know what this is, you know, some yarn or something. So, I mean, these are, you know, $80, $90 kits, some of these Shepherd's Bush kits. And so Jessica went to the gal that was running the estate sale, and which I believe was the mother of this gal who was the stitcher. And she said, look, I couldn't possibly buy all of this, but I recognize that you have a treasure of items here. If you are interested, I go to a retreat every fall, and I know that there would be tons of women that would be thrilled to look through this and take this, and it would go to good homes with stitchers who would appreciate it. And so the gal, after the estate sale was over, I don't know if she got in touch with Jessica or if she just sent it even home with her, but Jessica brought it all and brought it all to us. And it was incredible, the amount of stuff that was in there. So I just took those two small items. There were, like I said, incredible kits in there. So the other thing I got from the freebie table was this linen. I think that was from the gal's stash. I'm not sure. Whoever donated this linen. It's got kind of a cool, kind of a lavender gray color. I think it's 28 count. It's not marked, but long skinny piece. I liked it. Okay, this was my other, it wasn't on the freebie table, but Sweet Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, she showed these in her dough bowl last year. Yvonne's dough bowl, I'm sorry people, I think Yvonne's dough bowls are incredible. And of course she makes me want to make my own dough bowl, and so I've got a bunch of smalls to make. I don't do any scrapbooking. I don't have a Cricut machine. I don't have, I forgot what this one's called that she cuts this on. I can't remember, but she had shown these little guys in her dough bowl. I almost bought a Cricut machine and the templates that go with this for the sake of making this little guy. And I finally was like, why don't you just reach out to Yvonne, Sue, and ask her if she would be willing to bring you one. So I just was hoping she could bring me the parts. I was willing to ship her the felt or whatever she wanted. I wanted to pay her for it. She brings me one completely finished and didn't want to charge me a thing for it. And I was just like, Yvonne, I have to pay you something. So she's like, no, you can just have it. I already have him cut out. He's yours. So I was thrilled about that. He is going to go in my future dough bowl and I love him. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Yvonne. I gave her a little something too as a thank you, but I hope you know, Yvonne, how much I appreciate this little gingerbread guy. So thank you, thank you. Double. Okay. I also have to thank McKenna, because this summer I was at the Minnesota State Fair and I get this text out of the blue, a Facebook message actually, from McKenna. And she says, I told her last fall, mind you, I mean almost, 10 months prior to that, the chart I was looking for, my unicorn chart, was called the Frances Eden Sampler by Handwork Samplers. You all know probably that McKenna helps Jean at the attic out and has boxes of things and sometimes stumbles on these little unicorn charts. Well, dun dun dun. She called me and she said, "Are you sitting down? Because I'm about to make your day." And here is the Frances Eden Sampler. I had a search saved on eBay for this chart, and when it would come up, it would shoot up into the, 50s or whatever, and I'm just like, I can't pay that much for a chart. So this, you can see what I paid for it, which is what was the going rate, $30. So which is a lot, like that. That's more than I would normally spend on a chart. I know that, like, if it's really involved and has a lot of facets and stuff, yeah, I get it. And as a designer, I know that charts are, they're expensive to make, but I'm thrilled about this. So McKenna, thank you so much for helping me find Frances Eden, my unicorn chart. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I'm just going to run through my haul really fast. All right, I've got a couple of items that were past the stash from lovely people. Darlene Baumgartner, thank you, Darlene. Even though I insulted her and told her that a prairie schooner was ridiculous when it wasn't, she passed this stash to me, which I am thrilled about. It's Blackbird Designs, Blessings Be Thine. And this is just, I think, one of the prettiest Christmas samplers ever. So I love that. So thank you, Darlene, for that. My other past the stash came from Penny McCabe, who is she on Instagram? I know it. Actually, it's just Penny Edgecombe McCabe, I think, on Instagram. I think. Is that right, Penny? I don't know. Anyway, Penny McCabe, if you look her up, she's from Maine, and she passed on this Patriotic Shaker box set. I love this design. And you know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking of doing each house individually and lining them up in a dough bowl. Wouldn't that be cute? I just love those houses. I think they're so cute. So that's kind of my thought for the 4th of July, is to stitch each one of those individually and put them in a dough bowl. I think that would be fun. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much, Penny, for passing that on to me. That was so nice. I commented on her Instagram after she finished it, and I said, I've almost bought that chart a few times. I love the Scarlet House. And she was like, I'll pass the stash when I'm finished. Are you going to the retreat in October? And I'm like, I am. And she's like, there you go. So, okay, so I bought a few things at Stitchville. Not a ton, but a few. This was released from Samplers Not Forgotten. This is a kit that she had re-released. I guess she had done like a limited run of them, and there were a lot of people that had they were bummed. I mean, it comes with everything. It comes with the fabric, floss, and I think it's silk, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I'm sorry. It's Gentle Art. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Gentle Arts. Sampler threads, but it comes with the buttons, the fabrics, everything. And I had made a little pin cushion for Kathy Krause a few years ago during our pin cushion exchange, and I loved that pin cushion. It was kind of similar to this, except hers was longer and skinnier, and that was actually a freebie chart from Samplers Not Forgotten. And I saw this, that she had posted on Instagram that she was going to re-release some of these. And so that was, I think it was this past spring, And I went to Stitchville not expecting to find any at all, and Deb kind of didn't know where there were. I rounded a corner and there it was, like lined up with some other exclusive kits on the floor. Teresa also found a really exclusive kit on the floor as well. So this one I picked up. This was in the bargain bin. It's an old homespun elegance. I really like that house. I'm not a big fan of sheep on samplers, so my goal is I'm just going to carry this grass over. Inside this ring, I think I'm going to put some big initials, like maybe my initials or something, and maybe a date. And then I'm going to like just wind this thing around here, this vine. And that's what I'm going to do with that one. So I can't wait to modify that one a little bit. I don't know. I have a vision for this one. So there's that. I've always liked this one. There's a boy in the heart of blank, and his heart belongs to me. So you can put any town name in there you want. You don't have to write in the heart of York. You can write in the heart of Manchester, or in the heart of where I live, Kimball. So I really think that's cute. I don't know why. It looks like a quick stitch, and I just like it. I thought it would be fun. This is also Carriage House Samplings. And this I've never seen before. So this is like the family tree portraits. So these you can modify. You can like put your family together with these funky, old-timey like portraits. I love her people. I love when Carriage House does people. I think that their people are so funky and odd looking, like the girl series and the boys series that she does. They're so cool, and but I don't want to stitch a whole one. Even though I love them, they're so big. So I thought that would be kind of a fun thing, you know, to maybe stitch my family or something in these cool portraits. I just thought they were fun. They're kind of funky. Lots of different characters there to stitch. So that was in the bargain bin as well. Like, I got that for $5. So this was my door prize. So the way the door prizes worked is we got tons of donations for door prizes from all over, from people that attended the retreat, from designers, and some designers gave like 75 of the same thing so that we all got one. Those were in the swag bags. That's what I'm getting to next. And, you know, some people just were like, oh, I never stitched this, or I have this on hand. This kit actually came from Tina Richards of Shepherd's Bush. Tina Rich, and it's the whole kit. So this was my door prize. So it's from the Scarlet House, and this one is called On Coverlet Court. This is one of the exclusives from the Dying to Stitch. Is it a Pincushion Club? She donated this one, and then there was the Blackbird Designs strawberry. And, you know, she said, I signed up for these exclusive clubs. Tina said this. She said, I signed up for these exclusive clubs, and then I just know I don't have time to stitch them, but I don't want to be left out. So she donated 2 of the ones that she got from the Dying to Stitch retreat. And, not the Dying to Stitch retreat, but from the Dying to Stitch club. And so I was lucky enough to get that. So the way that the door prizes worked is when Michelle would draw 5 numbers at a time, and those 5 people would go across the hall. There was like this little meeting room and this conference table, and so I had helped organize and set things up in groupings. You know, like this is one sometimes there would be like 3 or 4 patterns from one designer that would be in a stack. There were just the most amazing donations. There were, you know, full Blackbird design books. There were people who brought project bags. There were people that made scissor fobs, and equal amount of people who donated large items to the raffle table. It just phenomenal. Just very, very, very generous people in the stitching community. So A+, if you donated something, thank you so much, because it just made it so much fun. So my job, I was actually supervising the door prize table, just, you know, in case people had questions, or, you know, there were also some things off to the side that were for sale that we didn't want people to get confused, like, oh, these are door prizes, you know, kind of thing. So I just was kind of overseeing things. And I had given my ticket to my neighbor, Tara, who was sitting at my table with me. And I said, Tara, if my door prizes call, let me know. So she wandered in about a third of the way through the door prize selecting. And she's like, hey, Sue, your number was called. And I was like, oh, seriously? And I ran over and I looked, and this Scarlet House pattern was still there. And I was like, yes! So I was like, done. And I grabbed it, and I was just tickled pink. So thank you, Tina Richards, for donating that. Okay, now I'm trying to decide if I should do... Okay, I'm going to show you just like the swag bag and the stuff that we already got. And I know a lot of people have shown this, so I'll go through this kind of quick too. So one of the things we got, we had a choice of either a shaker box from LaHaye's shaker boxes, which are gorgeous shaker boxes. Teresa bought me a small LaHaye's basket. It's an oval, it's about this big, and it's got a handle. And I put all my little stitching stuff in it, and it sits, you know, right beside me. And let me tell you, I had a hard time deciding because initially I grabbed the LaHaye shaker box, and I got it in like the robin's egg blue color, which I love that color, really like that color. And I had it, and I got to thinking about it more, and I didn't really know what I would do with the covered box. I don't have a big house. I don't have a lot of places to just like put on a shelf and display things. And so I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, there's a lot of people that really would love a shaker box, and I'm okay with either one of these, because this is made by the gal who does the 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets. Look at each one of them is signed. It says A. Frank, and her name is Anne Frank, by the way. Anne Frank, 2018, 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets, it says right there. What a handy little thing for all your stitching stuff. I mean, you can just pick it up and carry it here and there. I used it all weekend. I'm like, I'm so glad I chose this over the shaker box, because I feel like the shaker box would have just collected dust on my shelf. So I actually brought my shaker box back, and I said, Michelle, can I trade my shaker box in for a basket? And she's like, yeah, absolutely, I don't care. So, and then I think it was, I think actually Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche ended up with my blue shaker box the next day. So when I traded it in. So anyway, when she arrived. So that was really cool. So that was one of the things we got. This was optional, but the wonderful Candy Stitches, she made all these shirts. If you wanted one, they were optional. I picked one up, and it's super cute. So thank you, Candy. I can't wait to wear this. I haven't worn it yet. I don't know why. I just haven't had a chance. I've been working. That's why I've been wearing my scrubs. So there was another lady there. This was a freebie as well. So this lovely lady, her name is Kay Dunlap, I think. She is from Kansas, but she mostly associates her... I thought she was from Louisiana, but she was from Louisiana originally, but is now living in Kansas. So I think... anyway, she I think identifies with Louisiana more. Anyway, Kay was kind enough to bring a kit of these to every single person there. She made 75 little kits. This cookie cutter, there's this little piece of perforated paper in here, and even the floss and everything else. And you stitch a little leaf, and then you cut it out, and then it dangles from the cookie cutter. So it makes this little fall ornament. And she was kind enough to bring one of those for every single one of us at the retreat, which was so nice. I'm telling you, the stitching community, there are people like none other. So, these were the things in the swag bag. This little thing, Jen's Stitching Niche put together for all of us. There are 3 limited edition colors in here. It's the Hey Chickie limited editions. There's gold Oprington. I'm sorry, the gold is buff. I should put my glasses on, sorry. The gold is buff Oprington, the reddish brown is Rhode Island red, and the gray brown is Barnevelder. So those are the things. And then she's included a cute little needle minder, a little Hey Chickie needle minder. I got the blue Chickie. And then some chocolate, a little chocolate. So thank you, Jen, that was nice. She had one of those for all 75 of us. The Twin Peak Primitives Company gave us all this All Hallows Eve truck, which is adorable. And then Faraway Designs gave us this little needle minder. Those were in our swag bag, people. You and I and Friends gave us all a booklet. There were 2 kinds of books, and there's multiple designs in here. Love this one and this one. Actually, Lisa from, oh, come on now, Sue, what is Lisa's? You're all screaming at me right now. I know, with her name. I'll put it below. Good Lord. Lisa of, oh, Kindred Stitcher. Lisa, thank you. Oh, Lord. Okay, she and I had different ones, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that house, and I love that little rosebud thing. She's like, you want to trade? I'm like, I would love to trade. So thank you, Lisa Kindred Stitcher. I'm so sorry I couldn't remember your name. Lord. Okay, she sat right next to me for half the retreat, for crying out loud. Oh. Anyway, love you, Lisa. Sorry. And then, of course, you've probably seen this. This is the limited edition kit that Teresa made for all of us. So this was exclusive to the kit, or the retreat. This kit will never be published. The chart will never be published. It's everything. It's got like the fabric. It's got the floss. It's got the pattern. Oh, it's really, really, really cute. And we even got a matching needle minder. And somebody said that Candy Stitches made these. I didn't know you made those, Candy. Not like t-shirts and needle minders. Candy, you are amazing. So kudos to you if you made both of those things. So amazing. Okay, I'm going to get to a couple. I've just got a few more things to go here. One of them, all right, I'm going to finish up with the retreat. I'm going to talk the door prizes. So the door prizes were amazeballs. There was the most incredible door prizes that were donated, okay? I think there were 27 door prizes all total, and they were all absolutely fantastic. The raffle tickets were $5 each. You could buy as many as you wanted, okay? So the first one that I won, which is really kind of funny, so for whatever reason, and I don't understand why, I was the only one to throw a ticket into this. So Teresa brought this, and I've been following her stitching on this for a long time. So this is called, okay, so it's by Sam Sarah Designs, but Teresa put her own spin on it, okay? They're, and I don't know if you caught, they're the alphabet, like A is for apple, B is for bee. Let me show it one more time here. C is for cupcake, D is for dachshund. So do you see that? H is for heart. So they're all these little things, and they come, she started this, and then she just kind of petered out on it and was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to finish that. So she thought, I'll donate it and see, because the raffle benefited the Southern Pines Animal Shelter, which is the charity that and the shelter that Teresa used to work for and is very active in volunteering with. So this is the whole set of charts of the Sam Sarah. They're the baubles, B-A-U-B-L-E-S. I don't know if you can read that up there. Baubles. Anyway, so they're supposed to be stitched in like a 9 patch, and then the button goes in the middle. Well, what Teresa did is, and she's using the same fabric that is called for. But what Teresa did is she stitched them in a line, and there's like a diamond that you sew the little letter to. And so she's just stitching, and some of the like symbols are a little bigger than others. So they're all able to be modified just a little bit. And so, yeah, and unusual things too, like K for kimono and J for jack-o'-lantern and things like I for ice cream. So, so that's how Teresa's stitching. And I was like, oh, that's such a clever idea. Like, I love clever things like that. So I've always loved this, and I've been following her progress on it for years. And she just kind of got sick of it, and I was like, well, I'll adopt it. And so for whatever reason, though, I was the only person that put a ticket in that jar. And Teresa's like, I would have just given it to you. And I'm like, well, we made $5 for the shelter, so good deal. That worked out well. So then, and by the way, the raffle tickets, so this, I'm going to tell you this part because it's pertinent to another story. So I bought, let me think, $50 worth of raffle tickets. So I bought 10 raffle tickets, okay? and because it's a fundraiser. And I had made a little bag. Here, I'll grab one. I've got one sitting right over here. I had made a little bag similar to this. I don't know if you guys watch me on Instagram, but I make these little tiny bags. And I had made one very similar to this, and I had posted them on Instagram. I made like 9 of these, and they're going to be Christmas gifts. And so it was Holly Hintzman from Holly and Anita, their FlossTube, and she was like, I love that. Can I buy one from you? And I said, sure, absolutely. Well, I didn't know what to charge for it. So when she got the retreat, I brought it to her, and she was like, well, how much do I owe you? And I said, well, how about this? How about if you just buy me 3 raffle tickets for the Southern Pines raffle, and then I'll just, put them in. So she was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And then, the animal shelter makes some money, and I get a chance to win something. So I had bought my 10 tickets, and then when Holly came, I gave her the bag and told her, just buy me 3 more tickets and we'll call it good. Because I just had used fabrics from my stash and everything. And so, so she was cool with that. And so I wrote, just for the fun of it, I told her, I said, okay, I'm going to write on the back the ones, and I wrote like Lucky Holly's tickets or something like that. And I put those 3 aside so that just in case I won with one of those 3, she would know that it came from the bag. Well, I took all 3 of them, and Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, had put up 2 $100 gift cards to her shop. And I'm like, that's a good deal, because I need stitching fabric, right? And I love her stuff. Anyway, who doesn't love Olive Kitten? Any cross-stitch shop, hello, yes, I would love a $100 gift card to any cross-stitch shop. So, and so I just said, okay, and I just had 3 of them, and I was walking around, and I'm like, what do I want? I knew I had put some in here, and put some in this, and put some in this. And then I was just like, I put all 3 of them in one of the cups for the $100 gift card. And I was like, fingers crossed, that would be awesome. Well, wouldn't you know it, my name was drawn. And so I looked, and it was the kind of tickets where it tears apart. So they drew the one out of the cup, and then I had the other one, and it was one of the ones that Holly gave me for making her the bag. And I was like, oh, Holly, it's one of yours! And I was so excited, and so I was really ecstatic. So, but it felt kind of awkward just because it was like, Teresa's my former business partner, and I was worried that somebody would think it was rigged, but I don't know how it could be. I mean, I wasn't drawing, I don't know. It just was kind of weird. It kind of felt funny that first I won that sampler, which was from Kitten Stitcher, but I was the only one, I was the only ticket in that cup. And then this happened. So I was just like, oh my gosh, there were just weird coincidences like that all weekend. Well, then fast forward to the next one, which was the other $100 gift card. And you know who won it? Holly. It was the weirdest coincidence. Like, I won one and she won one. I'm going to insert a picture here of me and Holly and Teresa after we won, because it was just bananas. I mean, how do you make that up? Crazy, right? Unbelievable. Anyway, and then, as if that wasn't enough, I won one more door prize, which I was kind of embarrassed. I felt sort of funny because my numbers kept getting drawn. I mean, I know that it's just chance and everything, and I don't think I normally get that lucky. But Lisa, Kindred Stitcher, Lisa, I got it now, Lise. She donated this book, and I thought it was so cute. It's called The Magic of Christmas to Cross Stitch. And some of the things in this book, like my favorite thing, I'm going to find it here. It's very French. It's a very French, like the patterns and things in it. Like, look at those cloches. Like those cute, and I don't know. I know a lot of people, I showed a lot of people this book because I was so excited about it, and some people are like, yeah, it's nice. Look at that little advent calendar. I thought that was so cute. Like, look at those little pockets. I don't know. I would like to stitch this kind of like the primitive, I think it's, is it Primitive Hair that does that, the countdown, spooky countdown calendar, 1 through 31. I would love to do it all on one piece. I just think the stuff in here is so cute. I have to find you the cute little animals, because the animals to me are just over the moon adorable. I'm gonna find it. Here they are. Like, look at those little animals. The birds and the mice under the mushroom and the little deer. They're so cute, they make my teeth hurt. I mean, they're so sweet. So I loved this book. I thought it was very, very cute. And Lisa had donated it as a door prize, and I was thrilled. So thank you, Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. So, and then this last thing that I got was from Michelle Rudy. So Michelle Rudy has been to my house before, and I am a fan of keeping odd little things in jars. And this jar is so very sweet. Can you see that picture? So Michelle put a bunch of things in a jar that were from her mother-in-law's house. You know, her mother-in-law just passed away just like a month before the retreat. And so they were cleaning things out, and she goes, I know a lady who loves this kind of stuff. And so she threw all of this stuff in a jar. Look at the cap even, the lid of the jar. It's like an old quarter, bicentennial quarter. And so she threw all this in here for me, and there is amazing stuff in here. This little house thing is a tape measure. Like, I can't tell you. I can't even. There's this really cool lock in here. And I guess her mom loved Vegas, or her mother-in-law loved Vegas, and so there's all these, you know, there's dice and there's tokens from Vegas and everything. So this is very special. Thank you, Michelle, for thinking of me. So that is about all that I have. I forgot, I have one more thing to share regarding so as I mentioned earlier in the video, today is my 50th birthday. I know a lot of people do birthday starts. I am not doing a birthday start. I have a goal of finishing this sampler in my 50th year, okay? So this is the Blackbird Designs Anniversaries of the Heart. You can see how far I am on it. When it's done, it's a big one. It looks like this. So I've got these things. I've almost got this done. I want this square to say something like, I stitched this in my 50th year. So that is my goal. So I have 1 year to finish up the rest of these, and I think there are 15 of them, and I have about 4 done. So that is my goal in my 50th year. So it will say something like that. Each square is devoted to a different family member. So that is my birthday goal for age 50. I am sorry if this droned on forever. I will try to do better next time. I can't believe I spoke for like an hour. So I am wishing you lots of stitching and very little ripping. See you next time. Bye.